Hello viewers and welcome to the eSeniors GT3 Championship, and today it's the very first league race of the Porsche Cup. This is going to be taking place at Barcelona, a very technical track that can chew the tyres up. Adding the benefit of the Porsche not really having traction control, I think this is going to be a really exciting race. It's quite obviously it's too early to determine who the fast guys are and what's going to happen. But needless to say, a lot of the guys from last season are still racing this season. So consequently, I think it's going to be a battle of wills. There are a new few guys as well, and some of them are looking really, really fast. Now, in relation to the car, the Porsche Cup, it's about 5 seconds down on the GT3 around this track. So that just gives you a bit of a difference and an understanding on how this car does perform. I will say it's very quick on acceleration on a straight, where it does struggle getting the power down out of corners. So consequently, I think that's where the GT3 cars do actually outperform the Porsche Cup. And obviously, lack of traction control means you've got to be a little bit more gentler on the loud pedal. So without further ado, let's go live to the stream. And as you can see, we've got 26 cars on grid. We've literally filled the timing tower, which is no mean feat in itself. So plenty to watch. What we'll do is we'll go out with, in this example, David Noble. I will go into the cockpit and I'll do a bit of a track tour. I'm not going to name corners in this one. As I said, I'm going to be using the weekend races for that and GT3 Cup. So I'll do a bit of a tour with David and, you know, explain guiding around the track. So he's now entering the start-finish straight. Get your foot down, flat as possible, and you're looking to brake based on the car around the 100 metres, and he may drift left onto the paint a little bit to get the rotation into the corner. So he'll stick the anchors on, there you go, he'll put it down usually into second to take the apex, start get the power, tickle it a little bit and then get the power down again. He may drift left a bit here to give him a better corner, but ultimately you're looking for that orange marker on the left to start thinking about putting your foot down. And then you're looking at braking around the bridge to take yourself into the inside of the corner. So he'll take this quite close to the corner. He'll start putting the power down and may drift a little bit left as he tries to get the speed on the car. And there you go, a little bit left. He'll now push it right, brake hard, keep to the curb and get the power down halfway around the corner. He'll then put the car to the right. He'll cut this corner on the left and straighten out a little bit. And then he's braking at the curbing on the right hand side to get the car up into that corner. He'll then may cut a bit of this. That's a track limit area and a warning if you go too far. He'll be braking into here or drifting the car into the corner. Get the power on now and then full acceleration down to around the 100 metre mark again. Braking hard, coming across the inside and trying to get the power down as soon as possible. He'll cut this bit on the left. He'll then ease off on the power. And he'll try and nudge the car around, keeping to the inside. Then he'll start drifting the car left as he applies the power. He'll be looking for a braking point and then drop down a couple of gears to take that as close to the curb as possible. Quick acceleration, then back on the brake. Again, as close to the curb as possible on both sides. And then get the power down onto the start-finish straight. That's a decent tidy lap, and let's see where his lap time is. 150, so really good lap to start with that. I said it's 5 seconds down, so 145, 150. He will go faster, but that's a really good opening lap there from David Noble. Let's jump on board with someone else. Let's jump on board with Mark Christopher. As we know, Mark Christopher usually likes the Aston. I don't remember watching him in the Porsche Cup last season, so let's just see how he does in the Porsche Cup. It's great to see him in it, don't get me wrong, and you can see he's even put the PWS logos on it. So one of our sponsors, PWS, obviously proud to sponsor us along with Aqua Green, and you'll also see that logo on the cars as well. And we also now have Syndeo who sponsor our show, so we've now got 3 sponsors which we're very proud of, and that combined with all the donations that come in, which we are truly grateful for, means we're on a very healthy footing for keeping the servers going and the services we use in order to deliver this great service for you guys. So big shout out to everyone who gets involved, does donations and so on. John Saunders has just done a 149.9 for the first driver, and Christopher there gets a little bit sideways, just manages to recover John Saunders is one of the guys who I think is going to do well this season. Quick hello to the chat. We've got Peter. Hi, Peter. We've got James. Hi, James. We've got Jorgen. Hi, Jorgen. Laura, hello, and welcome to the first stream. Yes, supporting your friends, Mark and Brain. Brilliant. Let's see how they go. Hi, Frank. And hopefully I can make this as entertaining as possible. If you haven't done, please click the like, and if you haven't already, please click subscribe. If you can get 4 people you know to subscribe, we'll be over 1,000 subscribers before we know it. Obviously, we want to be one of the big guys out there on YouTube, but it does take some time. But hey, you know, let's see where this race takes us first of all. Let's jump on board with, John Saunders' times now is looking a bit dated. We've had 3 other drivers completely annihilate his time. Let's jump back with our friend Jeremy. Well, Jeremy in the car 88. A sensible driver, doesn't really come into contact. He'd sooner give in rather than go into a battle and crash. Anyone who's raced against Jeremy will know that. He wasn't going to race the Porsche Cup. He's renowned for not racing the Porsche Cup. However, he went on track before, and he feels since the 1.8 update, it's actually got easier to drive. So I'm not too sure about that really, but he said it's easier to drive, and he's decided to give it a go. Whether he carries on in the season or not, I don't know. But ultimately, you know, at least he's giving it a go. Hi Kai, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. So Jeremy is up here. He's looking at a 1:51.7 as it stands, and that's going to take him up to 16th place. If he can keep going, that'll put him into 16th place, possibly even higher. Yeah, straight into 16th place. So good luck there by Jeremy. And let's jump on board with who can we pick? Dave Thompson. Okay, so Dave Thompson had a bit of a break, mainly because he had lacking equipment, and he's back on full tilt now, and he's looking one of the really fast guys. So it'll be interesting to see where Dave Thompson comes out after all this as well. I don't think he'll race every race, but he does enjoy this sort of racing. Definitely a quick driver, and he has got some. Whoa! Blue flag car shouldn't really be interfering there. So that's a bit of a shame that car. Which car is it? Ooh, I'm trying to work out what car that was then. Should be able to work it out. The 29. Oh, was that 29 car? Oh, it was the. Oh. I'm trying to work out who that car is. The 420? 420. So that was Robert Abando who really spoiled that lap then. So this is something we're trying to sort out in qualifying as well. Is people blocking, causing incidents. I mean, if you're not qualifying and you're not on a fast lap, really you should not consider being on the racing line at all, and just let the other cars pass you. You know, weaving or making contact with them when you're actually racing for nothing makes no sense whatsoever, and we will be making penalties for people who do that. You know, that's something we're doing different this season, is you will get penalties for qualifying, and what that means is you'll get a table penalty, so it could affect where you stand at the end of the race. What you don't want to do is take somebody out on a qualifying lap who's going for pole and hit them or block them, because as I said, you will be penalised, and actually your points at the end of the race will not be reflective of where you are, so other people will gain. We've tried to be a bit stricter with the rules this season. Not only have they gone from, I think, 1 page, they're about 3 or 4 pages now as well. We've added lots of extras in there to try and make it clearer and understanding about what the rules actually mean. And from that perspective, hopefully, it's not going to look like a colander and people find holes in it. We are hoping it's going to be, I'm not going to say bulletproof, that's probably the wrong word to say, but we're hoping that a lot of the rules now accommodate what could have been seen as exceptions last season. Because if we come across something last season and it wasn't in the rules, people could just say, it's not in the rules, that. So that's been a big challenge, is getting the rules right. We have made separate rules for different races as well. So for example, we've stipulated the Porsche Cup, you can only race the Porsche. I know that sounds really obvious, but that wasn't in the rules. And we've also put rules in relation to the team's race on how the team's race can operate as well. So in relation to that, there's been a massive overhaul in the rules. The code of conduct's had slight changes to it, nothing major, a few rewords, just to make it 100% clearer. And obviously what we've done is for anybody who wants them translating, we can provide them in a text format. I know Danny sometimes asks for them in text format so he can run through them and translate. It's well worth doing if your English isn't a language you can deal with. If you just ask for the text, I will provide you with the text so you can do what you want with it really from a translation perspective. Okay, so qualifying's coming to an end, and it looks like David Noble's claimed pole position, followed closely by Derek Bird, also close by Lars. Andreas with a fantastic 4th place there, Mr. Pettersson. And there you can see, oh, someone's just jumped in, John Saunders with a 49.332, 5,000th of a second quicker than John. Lars has just taken John. John was 5,000ths of a second quicker, and Lars has just taken John. So wow, some fantastic blistering times. And look who stepped in. What is it? Hold me beer. Chris Bourne with a 149.1. So, you know, talking about putting a lap on the table, that's what you call a fast lap. Yes, Uwe, it's a book of rules. It's like a dictionary now. But as we obviously expand and we have more and more members, sometimes we've got to tighten up certain rules. So that was the principle behind it anyway. So there's me thinking that pole was set. It's not at all. So we've got not many cars on track. I think 149. Everyone's in the pits now, so with the exception of Dave Thompson. He's going slightly faster. He's going for a 149.9 as well. So yeah, let's just see where he goes. He could end up in the 149s. This could put him in 9th place, just in front of Reese. And there we go. Back in a tick. Okay, let's do the grid walk and see who's where. So as we said, Chris Bourne on pole position in the number 118, and then to the right of that we've got Lars Eklund in the 696, and then to the left of that we have John Saunders in the number 10. We then have David Noble in the number 8, Derek Bird in the 701, Andreas Pettersson in the 300. The car number 28 is Branko Bezjak. Car number 18 is Dave Thompson, the guy we just saw do that fast lap then. 969 is Steve Howells. 666 is Reese Wiggins. 97 is Terry Trowbridge. Roman Mark is 29. And then we have the two PWS cars. We have car number 19 of Mark Christopher. 986 of David Gerrard. So they're both running together. 991, my apologies, is Rickard Westin. 69 is Mert Paunov. Car number 15 is Andrew Ambro. Car number 88 is Jeremy Arabas. Car 999 is Becca Loram. Car number 33 is Jaime Goddard. Car number 963 is Eric Dont. Car number 86 is Kevin Torrance. Billy Stewart is in car 355. Robert Abando is in car 420. And in the fantastic David Bowie livery we have Andy Lees in the number 27 and Melvin Garland in the 222. So that is our lap tour of the track, of the cars. And what we'll do is we'll go through now and we'll hopefully, if I can get my cursor back, we'll follow some of the cars from the helicam on the start grid. Okay, so this will give us the ability to follow certain cars and we'll be able to see any incidents that are going to happen quite early on. We'll try and keep an eye on this. It's very difficult to keep track of absolutely everything, but I'll do my best. Hi Nico, thanks for joining, mate. Hope you're well. So obviously the first lap everyone's ghosted. The first bit to the first lap, actually to the start finish, everyone's ghosted. So you might see one or two cars drifting in and out of each other, but they'll have to get themselves settled before the start, and then as they come round the corner, the pit limiter will come on telling them they can't go so fast. So that's when all the cars will then reacquaint themselves with the positions, and when the lights go green, which is any second now, off we can go.
Green light, go.
Lights have gone green, and off we go. So far, so good. Couple of cars looking close already, but as it stands, there's no contact on the immediate straight. So very couple of close cars just further back from there. Yeah, 4 wide, but look, very limited contact. I think a car got onto the curb there, which didn't destabilise the car, luckily. But at the moment, yeah, Mark Christopher, there was contact actually. I think he got a clip. It's telling me there was contact with another car. I thought he'd destabilised the back, but that's not the case. But as it stands, there's something about the Porsche Cup. Most drivers seem to get a start in the Porsche Cup and go down really, really well. So everyone's off and running now. Now this corner can cause problems that everyone starts braking late to get into the corner. So let's see what goes on here. You can see the two PWS cars giving each other total respect. Let's just go a bit further back. And yes, everybody's managed to get round the corner. Fantastic. So let's start getting into the beef of it now. So these are the first front drivers. Second, third, fourth and fifth. You've got David Noble, you've got Lars, John Saunders and Andreas. So Andreas is looking really, really racy today actually. He's keeping up with John Saunders, which to be honest is no mean feat in itself. And you can see John's looking to get up the inside of Lars there in the green Porsche. Chris Bourne is doing his usual. He's scampering away in the distance. He's pretty typical at doing that. Hi Terry, thanks for joining. But so far, so good. I'm just looking down the track. I'll just move down a bit further. And everyone's snaking through okay actually. Good couple of people ready to battle by the looks of it. But at this moment in time, wow, I don't know what Jeremy said to everybody, but it certainly worked, because everyone's looking really, really clean. So I'm going to jump on board with Derek and Steve Howells, and I'm going to go to the cockpit view. Steve is trying to put an attempt on Roman Mark here. You can see Roman took the inside line on that corner to defend it, but Howells is looking really, really quick, so it'll be interesting to see how Mark does. So I've done a couple of races with Mark in, I think, Silverstone and that. Very, very good driver, very respectful actually. Doesn't go for the dives and shows his intent early on, which to me that's the mark of a good driver. Someone doesn't want to go for the dive, and if they're going to go for a pass, they make you aware of where they're likely to go. You've no excuse not to hit them really. So yeah, I'm not saying he's been incident free. I think he's been tapped a few times as well. But from what I've witnessed from Roman, who's one of the new guys, thumbs up to him really. That's the sort of driver we want as part of eSeniors. So he's just seemed to have got his tyres going now, because he's just starting to pull away from Howells a little bit. So I'll jump on board with Branko, another one of our new guys, and this guy is lightning. Now I know Borat's in the chat. I'm speaking to two of the guys he knows, but this guy has been competing with the front runners in a lot of the races, and again, such a clean driver, such a breath of fresh air. I don't know where you guys have been for the past number of years, but eSeniors has been going now for a while, so hopefully you're going to stay on board with us guys and have some good racing. So the guy in front of him, Dave Thompson, he is equally quick. So this could be down to a battle of wills and who's likely to make the first mistake. And I spoke too soon. I'm not going to say commentator's curse there. He's just put the power down too early. So unfortunately, Branko's now lost a lot of time. He's gone down to 15th, 16th place. He will now get the car going again, and he will probably start passing some of these drivers, but that's dropped him down. Let's go forward to, in fact, let's go back to Eric Don. So Eric Don's trying to have a run on Andrew Ambro here. You can see he's going for the inside, but he's not got a good enough run. And you can just see in front, actually, Branco's there as well. And behind Eric is Becker. So Becker closed up on the braking there. But Eric lost a lot of time in that corner. So let's see who else we can jump on board with. Where the battles are, I'm going to go to Andreas, who's right at the front. I'm going to go to the helicam. The reason why I'm going to go to the helicam is because there's a trail of cars here, and rather than just concentrating on one car, I'm going to give us the option of looking at many different cars. Yes, Borat, just seeing what you put in the chat. They are very, very quick drivers. Believe me, I've seen that in this last week or so. So yeah, it's good to have them on board. And as you know, they're in Group 1, which is the quicker group. So they probably fit in really, really well. Yeah, Nico, you're right there. He spun in one of the hardest places, one of the difficult places to not hit a wall, and managed to get away without hitting a wall. So really good that. 2 drivers in the race, race control on YouTube. That's exactly what it is. Most of the races, Borat, we do try to stream live and give commentary. The championship is live stewarded as well. So that means penalties are issued on track immediately for people who fall foul of the rules. Now John Saunders has gone very wide there and got himself onto the sand a little bit, and you can see Andreas is going for a run down the inside. He's got a great run. Is he going to outbrake him here? Well, Andreas has had a cracking now. He's just eased off on the brakes a little bit. Oh, is that contact? No, it wasn't. I don't think it was contact. Lars has over-rotated the car and he spun out. There was no contact there. I think it was under braking. He's tried to put the power down too early. As a result, Lars has now lost several places and is now in 10th place. So his loss is somebody else's gain, and Andreas is now up to 4th, but he's being pressured by Derek Bird. Hi, Craig. Craig has never ever focus on me. Tell you what, next time in a race, I'm going to stick with you for the full race until you go off. Oh, brilliant. Hi, PJ. I did message you. I don't know if you got it. I messaged you before the race had started. You could have got into the race if you'd have made me aware, but you'll know next time anyway. Obviously, all the races now, with the exception of the open races, will be the meetings, so you can acquire the password. It's the best way to do it. To ensure everyone gets involved. I'm old, yeah, I know we are. That's why it's a seniors league. Now, Andreas has gone wide there. Depending on where you go wide there, you can get a penalty. A warning. Oh, he's put too much power on. Oh, he's kept it though. That's a good save, that. He's only lost a couple of places. And he's managed to get the inside corner to stop him losing more. Oh! His tyres have gone there. I think he's got his tyres too hot from that spin. And that's Andreas dropping down. I think it is now. Yeah. So Andreas has now lost a place to Steve Howells. He'll need to get his tyres resorted there. Otherwise, as soon as he comes to this next bit at the bottom, he's going to be off track again. Let's just sit with him a second to see how he navigates that corner. Has he got tyre problems, and has he overcut one of his tyres quite early on through pushing? These next 2 corners will tell us if he's got a problem. No, so far so good. Yeah, Andreas looks like he's recovered there. But I'm going to jump back a little bit, just a couple of places, to Terry. Terry is putting pressure on David Gerrard. David Gerrard, one of the PWS guys, one of our sponsors, along with Aqua Green and Syndeo. And you'll see their cars always the same colour with just a different stripe. So you can see David's got the green stripe. You can see Mark Christopher's got the pink stripe. Mark Rogers also races in a PWS car. I'm not too sure. I can't remember what colour stripe he's got. But obviously Chris likes is Lada because he's got a red stripe. Bit of a joke there somewhere. I'm sure there is. Andy Goddard's off. In fact, Andy Goddard's quit. He obviously went off and decided to quit. Becker's gone off. He's got away with not hitting the wall there though. He's doing some nice donuts and he's going again, but he is running dead last at the back of the grid. Now I'm just going to jump forward a little bit from here. And we're going to ride with Branco again because Branco has caught up Ricard and he's going to try and put pressure on Ricard now. So Branco is in the number 28 Porsche, which I think is the white one at the back. and he's trying to put pressure on Ricard, which is the lime blue coloured one, if you like, and in front of them we've got Merch Pownov as well. We'll just see where they go, and you can see there's still a stream of cars in front of them. One mistake from anybody and you're going to lose several places quite easily. You can see that with Branco, we went from, I think, quite up the grid to quite further down, and it looks like there Ricard's got a good run on Merche as well. In fact, he's got a great run. He mustn't be running any wing there. That's so quick. Ooh, that was nearly contact. That was very, very close there. But there's no contact. They got away with it. So far, so good. It's turned out to be a very, very good race. Right, there's another battle going on further forward, which is Rhys Wiggin. Rhys has managed to take Terry Trowbridge. Terry must have made a mistake, and Rhys is now putting pressure on David Gerrard. Rhys is another guy I've been racing with this week. I had a fantastic battle with him, and he got me, I think it was on the last lap on this track, because back markers got in the way a little bit, but we sat with each other for the best part of the race. Talking about putting a sweat on afterwards, God was I sweating, yeah. But again, another good driver, very quick driver, also has raced in the endurance for the eSeniors as well, so can obviously keep the attention span going for a long, long time, which, as you know, at our age is very, very difficult. Sometimes I feel like a goldfish. Still that trail of cars behind with Branco, and there someone's just gone late into the braking zone. I think that was Merche, got late into the braking zone, and that one of Ricard is looking a bit loose as well now. He's just had to recover that car a little bit, and Branco can put a lot of pressure on him. Right, going to move forward up towards the front of the grid. In fact, I'm not. We've had an incident. It wasn't contact. Let's just have a quick look at what's happened to David Gerrard in the PWS. So he was being pressured by Rhys Wiggins, as we just said. You can see Mark Christopher going very wide there, but keeping it planted. He's come round here. You can see Rhys is really putting pressure on him. No problems so far. Whereas he's come into this corner, I think he's put the power down too early, and it's caused the back wheels to over-rotate, and oh, that could be significant damage to his car there, and that really could upset the apple cart. So back to normal running. He's dropped a number of places, and you can see his bonnet is damaged, so he's going to struggle now. I'm going to go forward to John Saunders. John Saunders is looking at taking David Noble on the outside. That corner, that's no mean feat. But as you can see, Noble had the line, and it gives Noble a chance to pull away. And into the distance, you'll see a couple of cars. Now, there's been another couple of cars. Let's see what's happened. There's been an incident between two cars, Lars and Terry. So Terry's the one in front. Lars is the green one behind, the lime green one. We've come up to this corner. Quite a distance behind there, Lars. Come round. Lars has got the inside. Oh, and Terry's lost it. So, again, an innocent crash there. Terry's lost it. His car's come across. Not a lot Lars can do there. But consequently, both drivers have been taken out, and Lars is now in 20th position, and Terry is in 21st. So unfortunate, them type of incidents. This battle's still going on at the front with Steve, Roman and Andreas. So Stevie's putting pressure on Roman in front, and Andreas has got himself back up and running again. Obviously got his tyres sorted, and this battle can go anywhere. So Andreas has got a great run there. Is he going to get Mark on the straight here? Let's jump on board with Andreas, and let's go see how it looks. The Roman's got some great speed on the straight there. Andreas just couldn't pull it off at all. But yeah, he pulled out, and all I can think of is that Roman's running less wing, and that means on the straight he was able to pull out a little bit further. I mean, you will more wing, you'll take these corners really well, but you will suffer on the straight, certainly in the Porsche Cup anyway. And off they go again. So let the battle commence. There's been another incident with Kevin. It doesn't show me who the incident was with, but as Melvin has gone to the pits, I'm half thinking it could be Melvin. Let's see if I can just go back and see that. Oh no, that was... I'm trying to work out who that was. That could have been Robert Abando. Yeah, that was Robert, I think, where he's had contact with Robert there. So unfortunately, yeah, that incident has caused. You can see at the top of the screen actually Melvin has gone into the wall. His back end's come round and he's hit the wall, so that's why Melvin's now gone to the pits. Whew. Right, so now we're back live again. I'm going to jump on board with Reese because this is where there's a bit of action, and Reese is trying to put pressure on Mark Christopher. So he's already put one of the PWS cars under pressure and forced a mistake, and Reese is now closing down his second PWS car, if you like, to see if he can make it 2 out of 2. It's really important to not put the power down too early in this corner because the wheels will just spin. You can see there Mark's very, very gentle. He's got it round there really nice. He's took that really well, although hitting the curb, you can see how much him hitting the curb unsettled the car, and he had to brake a little bit harder. And I've got a feeling Reese is going to get him here because Reese has got a really good run. He'll sit behind him as long as he can, and then he'll pull into the inside. And I'm surprised Mark hasn't gone for defensive line here and gone onto the inside. You can see he's just pulling it over a little bit, but Reese looks like he might be going for the slingshot, although this isn't the place to do it. Reese has got a lot of pace in the corners, you can see the difference there. A bit more in the chat. We've got Juan in the chat. Hi Juan, my fellow commentator. Yeah, Jorgen, you've got a point there. The thing is, it's very, very difficult to break the field down. There has been another incident. Let's go back to that one and see what's going on there. So this is Terry and Robert. So we know Robert's already had contact. Terry's come flying down the inside. At that point in time, he's eased off. So Robert, he's over-rotated. He's done exactly what Terry did with Lars, and you can see Terry's car's been mullered against the wall there. Or should imagine Terry's going to be really towards the back, but you know that's an accident. There's nothing you can do about that. We have lost another car. Someone's just left the server. Not too sure it is. I'm going to jump back to Reese and just see what's going on. Melvin's joined the stream. Obviously, I think Melvin, as we said, looked like he over-rotated the car, which is exactly what I did yesterday against Melvin, and went straight into the wall. So thanks for taking that mantle off me, Melvin. You did what I did yesterday. But yeah, the field is just starting to break down a little bit now. Andreas is still putting pressure on Steve Howells here. I mean, Andreas has been putting pressure on various drivers. Roman Marks managed to pass Steve Howells as well. I don't know if Steve Howells made a mistake. Terry Trowbridge has gone off. I'm not too sure where he is. Again, I think he's over-rotated the car there and got himself off, but he hasn't hit a wall. So let's go back to Andreas and keep an eye on Andreas. He's getting a good drive in the corner there. Just got to be careful you don't try and close the door too early, because you could take someone out. He really does need to get the power down quite early, Andreas, but the problem is too early, the back will slip out on you, especially in this car. The battle at the front, Chris Bourne's 3.3 seconds clear. David Noble is 0.4 of John, and John is 1 second clear of Derek. I will keep an eye on them. And Roman is now putting tremendous pressure on Dave Thompson. So I'm just going to jump to that one. He got within 2/10, so I don't know whether Dave broke late or just got a corner wrong, but Roman really kept up with him. Right, there's been an off. Reese Wiggins has gone off, and that's allowed Branco to pass him. I think Reese Wiggins got that corner wrong and went wide. And you can see now behind him is Ricard Weston. But that's given Branco a bit of breathing space. Roman is really putting pressure on Dave Thompson here, and he might get a really good toe down the straight. We'll see how the cars are matched. As we've already worked out from Roman, it looks like he's running low wing. Now the thing is, if Dave Thompson's running low wing as well, it's going to be a bit of a battle. And just behind, I don't know if you can see, Andreas got an absolute fantastic run out of that corner, and he's going down the outside past Steve Howells, and he's made it stick. So the run he got on the outside was phenomenal. He managed to almost pass Steve as he come out the corner. Oh, he just got a bit sideways, and he's gone too far there. So he's kept the power down to try and stay in front, and unfortunately he's lost that battle. Let's just go back to Mark Christopher, who's trying to get back into the battle, and you can see Andreas is waiting there, so he's aware there's a lot of cars to pass him and he will lose places, considerable places. Back to the chat. Just got back from work. Okay. Why you're just as good, mate. Give me a bit of... Oh, I wasn't paying attention there. Let me just go back and do a quick replay, 10-second replay. One of the cars spun. That's oh, both of the PWS. Wow. What's the chances of both cars going off at the same time? That was bizarre. Talking about a failure of manufacturer there. Both cars did it. Ricard Weston's also gone off. Let's see what he's done, if I can do a replay long enough. Oh no, I've missed it. Tried to do a quick replay on that one, but it wouldn't let me do that. But yeah, really, really bizarre. And you can see the cars in front are really racing. So he's got himself back on track anyway. It looks like it was a safe rejoin, which is something obviously we really tried to encourage. And he's now under pressure from Kevin. I'm going to jump forward to Merch a little bit. I saw Merch in the distance really putting pressure on Jeremy. So, not sure how much Merch races the Porsches. Right, there's been a change up front. I'm just going to keep an eye on this. These have just swapped places. Derek past John, then John past Derek. So I'm going to keep on this a second because this looks like it's going to kick off in a good way, as in passing. And Lars is in trouble. Lars is jumping down the track. I think he's gone wide and he's lost a lot of time. And Lars is back down into 16th place again. Yeah, well, sometimes if you put the power down too early, the back end, the wheels will just spin, and it's like driving on ice. Definitely, Uwe, why do you think I'm doing this rather than racing? This is a little bit easier, and I've still got a lot of data to take in when I'm doing this. Anyway, so Derek's just pulled back a bit now from John Saunders. All I can think of is John Saunders made a mistake, and it gave Derek the ability to pass him, but John was recovering. So Ranko's gone off. He spun the car. Quick 10 seconds. Are we going to see him do it? He's come up here. Oh, that's a big impact. So what happens there as you come round that corner? The front end goes light, and you can easily quite lose where you're going. There has been another impact as well. If I can find my mouse. And it's Robert and Kevin have come together, but I think it was just a tap rather than a major incident, as both cars are still running fine and haven't lost any places. Right, so there's no battles on track at the moment, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick go down the grid. So Chris Bourne, absolutely walking it. So at the moment he's on for a good 50 points. David Noble, steady in second place. Bit of pressure from John, but he's managed to keep a good distance. So unless the tyres start to go off, I think he's looking good for a podium. And I'm not doing commentator's curse because I'll say that with John as well. But John's in third place. I think he's made a mistake early on, but he's recovered it. So consequently, he's now running in clean air, because behind him in 1.3 seconds is Derek Bird. So these are the guys last season who were pretty consistent, to be fair. Then we've got Dave Thompson, who's out on his own at the moment. He's not being threatened by anybody, so to speak. He's 1.5 seconds behind Derek and 1.5 seconds in front of Roman. There's Roman, his debut race in one of the leagues. I'll tell you, for your debut, 6th place can't be, you can't quite 6th place. I'll take 6th place in the Porsche Cup any day of the week. Steve Howells is 5.5 seconds behind. Steve's had a fantastic run here, very, very consistent, and just got on with it. Kept it very, very clean. Reese Wiggin, again, another clean race. He's 5.8 seconds behind Steve Howells, and he's just getting on with it. Andrew Ambro, again, doesn't race often, or hasn't been, certainly not last season, and yet he's been in a couple of races this season. He's doing really well. It's good to see that. And Branko, who's had as we saw before, he's had a bit of an off into the wall. You can see his bonnet is damaged, so he is going to be struggling with aero. And David Gerard, who's behind him, is also struggling. So both them cars are damaged, if I recall. You can quite clearly see there the bonnets are open on them. I will say it gives the engine more air, so they will be taking more air intake in. Merch Pownov then behind them in the number 69. Merch, if he's got no problem with his car, will start catching them, I feel, because Merch is quick enough. Then we've got Jeremy in the number 88. He's currently running in 13th place. And then behind that we've got Mark Christopher, who, as we saw before, had an off and I think got hit a couple of times in that corner where we saw the other PWS car go off. And we've got Andreas Pettersson, who was running really well early on. Then I think he's had problems with his tyres, just putting the power down too early, possibly overcooking his tyres. And Lars, who was one of the front runners, also made a mistake, and I think Lars is going to get Andreas here. So the two compatriots really going for it there down the start-finish straight. You can see Lars' bonnet though isn't looking healthy, so as he pulled out he couldn't pass. But at the moment, if he can keep it on the concrete, Andreas might have the better of Lars here, although Lars is looking quick, it's fair to say. And we got Ricard in a very similar coloured car. He's basically 5.8 seconds behind. We've got Robert, 2.3 seconds behind. Kevin Torrance, 1.8 seconds behind. And then Eric Dont, who was involved in an incident before where he was the passenger, he's less than a second behind, and as you can see he's gaining. Andy Lee's in the fantastic David Bowie livery, is running 21st. It's his first race back really for any anger. He took a bit of a break out of racing, and he's back on it. He does like the Porsche Cup. He'll probably be streaming this race himself, but he will be enjoying it. Andreas has gone off again. His tyres just aren't playing ball at the moment, so he hasn't hit the wall though, he just went off. Becker has gone into the pits, and as we know, well, as we can see, Billy Stewart's gone into the pits. So I'm going to go back to the front again, and we'll concentrate back on the action. And you can see Derek is now putting pressure on David in relation to keeping things going. In actual fact, David got passed by John Saunders. So Mr. Noble, commentator's curse, must have made a mistake, unless it was just John's driving has managed to pass it. That's the chat. No, Jeremy was commentating, Nico, and I think you're right. I don't think Merche was. So I think in that respect, you know, I think he is relatively new in this league for the Porsche Cup. Terry T, that's the last cup race for me. Yeah, I saw Terry a couple of the tyres at the back just seem to go everywhere. And I will say you're not the only car. Other cars have been flying off and cutting across others as well as they've been slipping. Yeah, I think a few drivers decided not to bother. Oh, Uwe, you've got the T3PA. I've got them. I don't use them. I've got the TLCM ones, but yeah, I know what you mean by the T3PAs. Have you got the rubber bung? Use the rubber bung on the brakes, at least it gives you some sort of normality under braking. Right, we've got 12 minutes to go. Pretty much calmed down now. There's no one aggressively trying to pass anybody else. Who can we jump on board with? I'm going to jump on board with Mark Christopher. Oh, Reese has gone off. Is he going to lose any time? Andrew Ambrose gaining quite a lot, as you can see there. But I think Reese is just going to get it going again, just in time. John Saunders has just pumped in a 1:49.8. So he's coming towards 12 minutes to go, and he's pumping in a fast time. There's nothing wrong with his tyres, is there? So John Saunders is meaning business. In actual fact, I'm going to jump on board with John. The reason being, he's cut Chris Bourne's lead from 3 seconds to just over 1 second. Hold on a minute. David Gerrard's gone off. He's spun it. Just seen behind the trees. And he's doing donuts into the sand. And the other PWS car passes him. So Gerrard, unfortunately, has already got a damaged car. He's going to struggle even further now, further down towards the back. So John Saunders is absolutely flying. Hi Manuel, welcome to the stream, thanks for watching. Don't forget guys, click that like, click that subscribe button if you haven't already done. You know, it keeps interest in certainly the channel and keeping things going. And as you can see there, John Saunders, I've just replayed that because I was looking at another screen at the time. He did exactly the same, in exactly the same position, as Branko did before. And as you can see, the front end of his car has been mullered, so much so he's gone to the pits. So unfortunate there. I think that's his race well and truly numbered. So that means now the guys up front is Derek Bird is going to put pressure on David Noble. So David Noble's got his second place back. And Dave Thompson, if he can get his act together within 10 minutes, can go for a podium. Now Roman has gone off. What's Roman done? Come round the cut. Oh, it's very easy to do that. I tell you what though, he was very lucky didn't hit the wall. That was really good that he didn't hit the wall. So again, he's hit the curb and it's just unsettled the back end of the car, and he has lost a place to Steve Howells. Steve Howells is having a dizzy height in 5th place there. Well done, Steve. Dave Thompson is 2.8 seconds behind Derek. I'll keep an eye on that gap behind just so I can see what the focus is. But this is the battle at the moment for what is second place on that podium step. Just realised the replay logo was stuck on the screen. Sorry about that, guys. Trying to warm back up into getting back into the streaming, as you can appreciate, having not done it too often in the close season and only done a couple of races in preparation for this. Most of the gremlins and the technical issues have been resolved now in relation to sound. I think I've got all the sound levels right. Reese has gone off again. Reese's car has hit the wall now, so Reese has now hit the wall, so his car's going to be down on power, and we may see Merche catch him up a little bit. Oh, and there's been an incident. Let's have a look what's going on. Been an incident between Jeremy and Mark, I think it is. So Mark in the PWS car, Jeremy in the one in front, going down the straight. Good gap there at the moment, so there's no dive or anything as it stands. As one of them over-rotated. Oh, yeah, I'm not really going to go into detail on what went wrong there. I will leave that for the stewards to decide, shall we say. You all saw it, you all saw the stream, you can make your own judgment calls, but I won't be making it for obvious reasons. Right, Derek is right on the back end now of David Noble. So let's just see this from the David Noble's. Trying to find the right one. Is it that one? No, that one. No, I'll find it in a minute. There it is. That's the one I wanted. C4. You can see the speed difference. So I don't know if David Noble's got a problem with his tyres, but Derek is literally all over the back of him. Really putting pressure on him now. I've got a feeling Derek might get him under braking. Although you can see David is trying to maximise the track so he can get the rotation into the corner. But that Porsche at the back there is gripping really well. Although David did get a good run out of that corner. I think it's only a matter of time before Derek does make a move. Or failing that, David makes a bit of a mistake. Not like David, though, I'll say that. Neither of these two drivers are renowned for making mistakes, to be fair. So if they do make a mistake, it's completely out of the blue if they make it. You can see the run there though. Showing his nose. He's not giving in. He's backed out there, which is a sensible thing to do. You won't get a good run round there. Reese Wiggin has gone off again. So I think Reese is, in fact, Merche's now really caught Reese up. I think Merche's going to pass Reese in a second. I'll keep an eye on that, and I might switch to that if I see it in a second, okay? Let's go back to the helicam and just get a view of what's going on from a higher up perspective. Yeah, Merch is static behind Reese at the moment, but as I said, I'm keeping an eye on it. Andreas has gone off again. He over-rotated into that corner, but didn't hit the wall, so has got away with it. Merch is now catching Reese, and I will expect him to catch him on acceleration. And I think on the start-finish straight, if Merch's car's okay, I think he'll drop Reese Wiggin on the straight, because I don't think Reese has got full power if he's hit the wall. And you can see the speed at which Merche is catching him up. I am keeping an eye on two other battles, just for reference. Roman Mark is catching Steve Howells very, very quickly, and Derek Bird is right on the back of David Noble still. We just want to see if Merche can take a run at Reese here and get the run done. Eric Donta's gone off. Not involving anybody else. He's back running again, so he's obviously just gone wide off track. And no, Reese has done a really good job there. Got a good run out of that corner and has prevented Murchie from catching him. Excellent stuff. So still going. The other battles, the closest one is Roman on Steve Howells at the moment, but Steve Howells seems to be getting the better of him in certain corners. Let's jump back to that. Saying that, there's just been a mistake. Let's have a look what happened there. So Steve's in front. Oh, he's gone late and braking, and it's give Roman the inside. Again, nice and tidy. Steve will be cursing himself there, knowing full well he got his braking point wrong. Where else are we? Just back to Derek. Derek is still putting pressure. Now, what can you see? We've got 5 minutes to go, and in the 5 minutes since I said it, Dave Thompson is 1.3 seconds up from what was 3.6. So he's almost, he's over half the gap, because I think these two are now battling, and it's giving Dave Thompson the ability to catch up as them two battle. So let's see what's going on. Roman Mark's gone off, and it's allowed Steve Howells to pass him back. So there's a lot of drivers to in and fro in here, and just as the race is coming to a close and the tyres are just starting to scream a little bit, they just start to battle and start to lose the cars a little bit. You can see there he's going down the outside, Derek. He's not going to make that work. But as I said, look behind. He's now into a second of a gap. Dave Thompson is really putting pressure on these two guys in front now. Whew! Could do with another commentator to give us a hand. There's that much going on. Just another thank you to our sponsors, PWS and Aqua Green and Syndeo, and all the guys who donate. Everybody who donates, I do know Jeremy makes personal contact with you, so thank you very much for that. As I said, from a perspective of eSeniors, it's keeping us in a healthy position, allowing us to carry on paying for the services we pay for, and allowing us to carry on bringing this this service to you guys. It's all about you at the end of the day. Me and Jeremy, basically just the mechanics behind it, but we all work together, and obviously we're now involving a larger part of the community to work with us, and I think it's starting to work much better than it ever has worked. You know, it's all thanks to you guys playing your part. Without you, we have nobody. Without us, it falls apart. You know, so you guys and us working together keeps everything going. Reese has gone off, and he's gone to the pits. He's lost 2 places. So a big shout out to every one of you eSeniors members for sticking with us, bearing with us, you know, and working with us to get where we're going. As a result of today, you'll have noticed as well, we're going to generate an eSeniors committee. I'm just trying to fill time as the race comes to an end, obviously. And the idea of the committee is, rather than just me and Jeremy make the decisions are now going to be represented by the group as well. We feel that's right. We've got to the size now with the number of racers we've got, where it can't just be about me and Jeremy anymore, and we feel it's right to start involving you, the drivers, the guys who race week in, week out with us, to be part of that. So we've had quite a lot of, shall we say, applications, it's fair to say, although we haven't disclosed what the job spec is yet, but, but it's good to see that you all want to be part of it. And what's been good actually is the mixture of drivers who've put their names forward. There's people who've put their names forward that I perhaps didn't think they would, and when they've put the name forward, I've been really pleased that they've done it. So from that perspective, again, putting your name forward has been brilliant for us, because when we decide who we're going to pick, I do think it's going to take us to another level with the group and the understanding of the group. Now, there's been an incident here. Let's just see what's gone on. This is an incident between Robert and David Gerrard. So David Gerrard's on the outside, Robert's on the silver Porsche. He's coming in. David Gerrard's behind him. I don't think it was disrupted because these two cars were running. You can see David's car at the back is very, very damaged. David's gone for a dive that isn't there. So that move wasn't there, and both cars have been rotated round. But yeah, that's another one for the stewards.
Leaders on final lap now.
Right, let's jump to the leader. The leader is on the final lap. He's not joking, he's on the final lap. He's not on the final lap yet, but he will be in a minute. That's what you call being a bit premature, isn't it? So Chris is currently 6.9 seconds ahead of the guys behind because they were battling. Dave Thompson has had a big mistake. He's dropped 10 seconds and he's now being pressured by Steve Howells. So Dave Thompson had a big off somewhere and a bit of a mistake and a bit of a nightmare. Roman's just gone off the track again. Derek's so keen to get this pass done, isn't he? He is so keen to get it done. But let's ride on board with Chris. I'll do the TV camera for you. It's always a good view, this one, as the race comes to a close. Chris will always flash his lights on the start-finish straight as well, which does follow the rules. We do permit you to do that. We don't like you flashing your lights on track as a matter of putting people off. We have been very clear in the rules what you can and can't do in relation to flashing your lights, but flashing them over the start-finish line and acknowledging someone who's passed you, who's done it the right way, you can also flash your lights for that, but you can't use it in a manner in which to cause disruption. So again, we've tried to be very fair. The flashing of the lights wasn't even considered last season, so again, these are the sorts of changes we've introduced into the rules, just allow us to try and keep on top of things. Now, Chris Bourne does this every race. He puts his windscreen wipers on. There's a button near his wheel apparently, he presses by mistake, and he can't work out how to turn it off. And as he comes towards the end of the lap, you'll see he flashes lights. He puts his windscreen wipers on. I have no idea why he does it. But he was telling me about it. He just can't find where to switch it off. There you go. Chris is coming over the start-finish line any second now. Very well-deserved race, finishing 6.6 seconds and achieving maximum points and an absolutely spotless purple car. There you go. Well done, Chris. Good victory there.
Has finished the race.
David Noble and Derek are going for a drag on the start-finish. Wow, what a finish between them two. And as I said there before, Dave Thompson must have had a bit of an off. Yeah, his car at the front's looking a bit bruised, so I think he's hit the wall. But he's managed a great 4th place, and Steve Howells there, fantastic 5th place. And on his debut league race, Roman Mark in the 6th place. Well done, Roman. Andrew Ambo, big round of applause for Andrew there. Coming home in 7th place. Well done, Andrew. Absolutely brilliant. Murche managing to get it home in 8th place. I won't say slow and steady race there for Murch. And you can see the car behind Lars. Is he going to make it? Yeah, I thought he was just going to go into the wall then as he hit the sand. Rickard Weston in 10th place, a little bit behind. But as you can see, he's coming around the corners. He's got the cars behind him where he needs them to be. And he's run well here with a good 10th place. So that's your top 10. Then beyond that, we've got Jeremy. And we've got Andreas both finishing the line. And then Robert coming over the line. And then Kevin. And then Eric, who's coming towards the start-finish straight as we speak. And then the next car crossing the line in position is Andy Lee's, although I think one of the PWS cars has just crossed then. They were out of position. That's Andy Lee's. And then David Gerrard. That is all cars registered. And I want to thank everybody for watching. Again, if you haven't already, click like. And if you haven't already, subscribed. But yeah, Chris, another fantastic race there. Well done, Chris. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. Take care. I'm signing off now.